Welcome back to Trading for Dummies. Today we're going to be going over one of my favorite strategies ever freaking invented. We're going to be going over my London support and resistance strategy. This strategy is extremely repeatable. It takes the guesswork out of regular support or resistance strategies, and it's super beginner friendly, honestly. It's one of my favorite strategies. I use it almost every single day. But without further ado, let me share with you guys the sauce that has drastically changed my life. Let's get into it.
All right, so this strategy is my London support and resistance zone strategy. It combines a few things we've already talked about. We've talked about the indicator kill zones, which shows us the different sessions that's happening. It also combines understanding sessions, which we've talked about sessions, specifically the London session, and then it also is heavily reliant on support and resistance. It also talks about, in here, you're going to see we need to understand market structure, which we've went over as well. Remember the higher highs, the higher lows, the lower lows, lower highs, things like that. So how this strategy works, we first need to have the kill zones indicator on our charts. And I only care about London session and New York session. So if you want to copy my settings again right here, you can just copy them under inputs and under style, so that it will look like mine. But what I'm looking for is seeing what the market did during London session. I want to see what the London banks did. I want to see what the London hedge funds did. I want to see their price range. And I want to see the highs and the lows that they created. The reason being is the high point of the London session and the low point of the London session are both great support or resistance zones for when New York session starts. It usually likes to come and tap into either that high or that low and bounce off of it. For example, right here. So we can look at when the London session started, which is this yellow line. And keep in mind, I do this all on the hourly time frame. This is more of an intraday strategy. You'll be in and out of the trade within, it could be like 20 minutes, but it could also take a few hours as well. But you're never holding the trade longer than that, so it's not a swing trade. But like I said, first step is getting that kill zones on, and we're on the hourly time frame. And this fly is still here trying to learn. This is crazy. Anyways, what we're looking for is the high point and the low point, and we're drawing those zones the same way we draw our regular support and resistance zones that we just went over in the previous section or one of the other sections. So for example, yellow line, that's where it started. White line, that's when New York session starts. So we want to see what happened from the yellow line up until that white line. We don't want to see anything else that happens after that white line. So we draw our support zone, same way we draw it before, from the lowest wick to the highest body, just like this. Then we also want to do the resistance zone at the top of the London period, right? Remember, that's from 3 a.m. all the way up until 8 a.m. This is on Central Standard Time. So that's 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, all the way up until 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So then we'll mark off that high point up here, right? So from the highest wick to then the lowest body, and we'll drag that across. And what we're looking for at that point, I'm gonna just go back in time here. What we're looking for at that point, when the market starts New York session, we want to see price tap into either that recent low or that recent high, and we'd wait for an entry criteria. Now, I'm just going to show you a quick example of what entry criteria is for me. So let's say we're looking for price to bounce off the London low. It's a support zone at the London low. We know that price has to be trending to the downside, right, to tap into it, right? So we're trending to the downside. We're making lower lows and lower highs. As soon as it taps into that either support zone or the resistance zone, in this analogy, we're looking at support zone. As soon as it taps into it, we're then looking for a clear sign that the market is about to reverse. And a clear sign is if price breaks above a most recent high.
Now, if you didn't know, inside of my inner circle, you actually get to see how I implement all of this information inside of the markets every single day. You get to come and trade live with me every day. You have the opportunity to copy every single trade that I take in real time. You have the ability to ask me any questions because I will coach you one-on-one. Now, if that's interesting for you, I'll leave a link for my inner circle in the description of this video to help you get started implementing all of this information.
So in this analogy, the most recent high is right here, right? That's the most recent high. That's the highest point, and then price tapped into our zone. After price tapped into our zone, I'm then waiting for price to break that most recent high, and as soon as it breaks that most recent high, I'm entering into the trade, and then I'm going to put my stop loss below the most recent low. In this example, the most recent low is right here. I'm going to put my stop loss right below there. And then for my take profit, I'm not targeting a specific risk to reward ratio. I'm targeting recent high points. So I could either target this recent high point for a full take profit, or I could target this one, or I can target up here, Obviously, this is all in an analogy, but that's how I look for my target. I'm not just going straight for risk to reward ratio. I'm looking for price to tap into these recent highs after we got our confirmation that price is going to reject off of here based on it breaking a most recent high point like this. Now, I gave you this drawing so you see what it looks like, but let me show you it on the actual charts. So in this example, this is actually a trade that we had taken live inside the inner circle. So what we're going to wait for is for price to tap back into either the high or the low. In this analogy, you see we tapped into the low, but it sold too far down from it. So I wouldn't then look for sells at that point off this zone. I'd then be looking for buys because it already broke through here. It kind of invalidated this support zone, which is perfectly fine. But if we fast forward here, we can see price actually came and tapped into the resistance zone, the high point of the London session. And then all we're doing at that point, we're going down to the 1 minute time frame to then look for that shift of market structure. And that shift of market structure is simply price breaking below a most recent low in this analogy, since we're looking for sells. So right now, we saw prices going down. We create a high here, low. Then it started kind of trending to the upside, a little bit of consolidation to the upside, created a low right here, and then started buying up, right? We never created another significant low. It really just chopped around a little bit, like right here and right here. We never created another significant low. So right now, the most recent low is all the way down here. But we'll see after it tapped into it if it creates another low that we could look for an entry based off of. Perfect. So here it created another low. Price sold down, created this low point right here. So instead of this being the most recent low, now this is the most recent low because we actually had a decent pullback to the downside versus kind of what we've seen over here, which is just like one red candlestick to the downside. We saw one big drop to the downside and price continued down and then bought up. So now this is the most recent low. So because we've tapped into our zone, tapped into the high point of London session, and we see we've created a new low, now we can plan on entering the trade if it breaks this low. Now, I don't know if it's actually going to break the low here. We'll see. It did break the low. So with our example, as I showed you, we'd enter the trade as soon as it breaks that low. So as soon as it breaks it, we'd enter the trade, and we put our stop loss above the recent high. The recent high point is up here. The recent high is also up here if you wanted to do that. But just for this analogy case, we'll just use this high up here. And then for our take profit, we want to target recent low points since we're looking for sales. So we know our most recent low that we were looking for an entry at was right here. So we could just target down here. And as you see, this is actually a pretty big trade. This is a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio, meaning if I risk $100, I'll make $600. Or if I risk $1,000, I'll make $6,000. But let's fast forward this and see how this plays out. Boom. So as you see, it ended up hitting our full take profit here. And this trade ended up taking 1 hour and 40 minutes. This is 614 ticks. So if we use one contract, this would have made us over $3,000 on this one trade within an hour and 40 minutes, all by following this simple strategy that we just went over. Now, there's multiple examples of this. We can look at the day before it right here. Let's rewind this. And this is a little bit of a different example because we have the low created here and we have the high up here, right? This is the London low and this is the London high up here. What happened though? Price broke through the London low. And if you remember when we talked about support or resistance, we know that support zones end up turning into resistance zones when they get retested. So price broke below it, then price came up and retested it. We trade this the same exact way. So because this is a retest of a support zone, we're now expecting this to act as a resistance zone and sell off of it. So as soon as it taps into it, I go down to my 1 minute time frame to see if it breaks any recent lows. And it already kind of did break a low, so we'll rewind this. So we see here price going up, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. It's creating all these different lows. Then it comes up here, creates another low right here, and then buys up, right? So in this example, we have many lows. We have a low here, a low here, a low here, another low right here. This is the most recent low. It's tapped into our zone. Now we're looking for price to break above a most recent low. So let's see if we get an entry and a break above the most recent low right here. Well, let's just wait to see if we get one. So we did. So we got a break here. We would have entered as soon as it broke it, put our stop loss above the high, which is right here, And we could target any of these recent lows. We can target this low right down here. And as you see, this is about a 2.8 to 1 risk to reward ratio, meaning that I would make 2.8 times as much as I was risking. Let's see how this plays out. Boom. And as you see, this hit our full take profit within a matter of 1 hour and 50 minutes. And this would have been 174 ticks. So a little bit less than around $900 that we would have made on this trade right here. Sorry, a little bit less than $1,000 that we would have made on this trade right here within an hour and 51 minutes, all by following the same exact strategy that we just went over. And you'll see this example multiple times. You can see right here as well. If we marked off the London high right here, the London low would be right down here. It didn't really create a support zone. It kind of just bought up the entire London, but it doesn't matter because price ended up breaking the London high here when New York session started, right when the white lens started, and then it came back down to retest it right here. So this would have been a break and retest entry, and we can go back in time and see what this would have looked like. So we see here that price was trending to the downside after breaking our break and retest. It was trending to the downside. It started making some lower lows and lower highs right here, right? And then it tapped into our zone. The most recent high after it tapped into our zone is right here. So we have to wait for price to break above here to enter us into the trade. So as we see, it broke it right here. We would have entered into the trade right here. We would have put our stop loss below the low, which is right here. And then we could have targeted the high. This is the most recent high up here. We could target that for a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And we can see how this would have played out. So as you see, this ended up hitting the entire take profit. We probably could have held this trade a little bit longer, but we don't want to be greedy. This is about a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio, meaning we would have won 1.1 times as much as we would have risked. This is almost 300 ticks here. So that would be a little bit under $1,500 that we would have made with this trade, and that would have been in a matter of an hour and 14 minutes. So as you can see, this strategy is very simple. You don't have to get good at, even though I suggest you get good at finding support or resistance zones, but you don't have to get good at it because all you're doing is marking off the London lows and the London highs and waiting for these opportunities to present themselves. You're not thinking about anything. You're just marking off the low of London, the high of London, and then waiting for price to tap back into either that London low or that London high. And then once it does that, you're going down to the 1 minute time frame and you're looking for your entry criteria, which is simply the market structure shifting. So instead of it being in a downtrend, creating lower lows and lower highs, instead it starts breaking those lower lows and lower highs and going up. That is your signal. And then obviously vice versa if you were looking for sells.